Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. My name's John Dubas. I'm going to work with Premier Marketing out of Norfolk, Nebraska, and we'll be spending the next 45 minutes to an hour or so discussing the possibilities that you have as a licensed agent with licensed, contracted, and certified agent with United Healthcare in growing your income through the use of their dual special needs product, their DSNP plan. It's a program that's been around for a number of years and is a very viable part of an agent who specializes in the Medicare field, in the Medicare arena, of having a program for those folks who are dual beneficiaries, folks who get access to benefits through both Medicare and Medicaid. A bit of housekeeping up front. Today's webinar is being recorded. It and other pieces of follow-up will be sent to all who have expressed interest in today's program and should follow up at the end of the day or tomorrow to those folks who have RSVP'd for today's program. A bit of other housekeeping notes. If you have questions, please put them in the software package with the GoToWebinar, and we'll make certain that all of those are answered and addressed either during the course of today's presentation or as follow-up with the rest of the information that's being sent to all who have expressed interest in today's program. A bit of background on Premier. We are a national marketing organization founded in 1968. That's part of the Integrity Marketing Program. We have offices across the country. We act as an insurance wholesaler, providing insurance programs, insurance contracts to independent insurance agents in all 50 states. We offer those contracts the highest possible commission levels available and offer recruiting contracts where available. We mentioned the fact that we were founded in 1968, so that means this past year we celebrated our 50th anniversary. That's a milestone that's to be celebrated for and by anyone in the insurance world, but it's a very solid example of how a small family-owned organization can grow into one of the largest organizations of its type. When you look at the Medicare Advantage arena, we are the largest producer with many carriers in 2018 and 2019 as well, and that's an accomplishment we're very proud of. This gives you a eyeful of the offices we have as part of the Integrity platform across the country. So it's a big, solid organization that's there to help you. The insurance portfolio that we offer is very robust. It offers all sorts of Medicare programs, including Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement plans, prescription drug plans, the standalone Part D programs, a full life insurance and annuity portfolio, including final expense life insurance and pre-need products, long and short-term care programs, disability income plans, and ancillary benefits such as dental, vision, hearing, critical illness, cancer programs, and hospital indemnity programs. That Medicare Advantage portfolio includes all the big boys and many of the strong regional carriers that make a difference in your market. The PDP portfolio mirrors that as well, so you have opportunities to offer the strongest programs in the Part C and D world. When you look at the Medicare Supplement portfolio for the programs that are with the standardized, modernized Medicare Supplement programs, it also is a very strong offering with multiple carriers offering unique electronic support and marketing programs that are put in place to help you maximize the return on your investment and working in the area. Those ancillary products, as I mentioned, included those key categories, but it's all the big boys in those areas as well. And as we work our way through the initial portion of lock-in, these are programs that are critical to help us cover areas that perhaps were left for later work after the annual election period and the OEP that we're working through right now. And there are also great ways to reach out and grow your book of business and return to those folks in the fall, or should they be eligible for a special election period, a means of addressing their health insurance programs now as well. As we mentioned, today we spend time on the dual special needs programs offered by United Healthcare and their community and state programs. There are some changes going into 2019 with these programs and the eligibility that people have to satisfy in order to create a move now. The election periods, as we're well aware of, the annual election period of October 15th to December 7th has remained constant over the last few years. The non-renewal period is the same through December 8th through the end of February. The open enrollment period is a change for us, where the MADP period went away, and we have a light switch period now through the first 3 months of the year. And then the special election periods, we've seen some changes, particularly in the area that affect those folks who have had a special election period because of their dual eligibility or extra help LIS statuses. This is a summation of the timetable given to us by United Healthcare and their Medicare and retirement system, and it gives us an idea of what we can do and when. Further elaboration on those time periods, we have a number of programs that fall into the special election period that make for good activity on a year-round basis. While a ton of activity happens in that October 15th to December 7th period, we have continuing opportunity through the remainder of the year, and more enrollments happen during the lock-in period than actually happen during AEP. So that's something to be very cognizant of. All of the programs that roll out the definitions for these special election periods give us guides to follow. And United Healthcare is very good about putting together an election period booklet that enable us to play by the rules that they give us. When you work with a particular carrier, it's really important that we speak in the language that they give us, and this gives us specifics to help us with coding and the different opportunities that present themselves throughout the year. I mentioned the SEP for duals and low income subsidy changed coming into 2019, and it's gone from a continuous special election period where a person could change, a person who qualified for that status could change each and every month should they choose to do so. Now we have an opportunity to deal with that same population, but they can only change one time per calendar quarter in the first 3 quarters of the year. The fourth quarter, they would be subject to any other changes they might qualify for, just as the rest of the Medicare population. And there's also some splits in the system as well, where the government is looking very closely at the opioid crisis and the way that that population is handled within the Medicare community. And so folks that are subject to at-risk or potentially at risk for those sorts of changes, even though they may have the extra help or the dual status, they may not qualify for that special election period. And this is a situation that we have to be very well aware of, and most of the carriers, including United Healthcare, have asked that as we deal with this population, that we call into their customer service units, their actual agent service units, to verify that the person has not already exercised that SEP during that quarter. So that's something we have to be aware of. There's also a split of some of the LIS and dual SNP SEPs as well, and that lays into that potential challenge that they have with the CARA legislation, which gives us the limitations as to whether a person or not can change based on that at risk for opioid or other RX challenges. There's also, as I mentioned, changes where the special election period for dual SNPs and LIS still takes place, but if a person is changing status within that, it's a subset of that SEP. So we don't see that as often as we do in just encountering the population that has the coverage, but there will be periodic circumstances where you run into a person who has a change in that status because of either an increase or decrease in their income, and they may or may not be eligible for the same level of assistance, and that's a separate SEP now. There's also the opportunity to deal with folks who have been auto-enrolled into one program. And we see that quite frequently for folks who have just procured the coverage, and those people were actually enrolled into different programs based on government processes that push them into one program or another. And these people have the opportunity to change that coverage as they visit with an agent and discover that that's their circumstance and that they have other options available. It's really important for us to keep our eyes and ears open for this population, because even if a person isn't a true dual eligible and does, however, qualify for the extra help, the value of that low income subsidy, that extra help with the cost of their medications, well, the annual average value of that is nearly $4,000. And if we look at the fact that half of the Medicare population has an income below $26,200, $4,000 is a huge difference for those individuals. Some of the things that extra help also does is provide access to coverage through the coverage gap, the donut hole. It waives late enrollment penalties that a person may have had if they got into a Part D program late. It does give them that quarterly special election period. And it also triggers an application for the Medicare savings programs, the QIMBYs, FLIMBYs, and QI1s, that may get them additional assistance on the cost of their medical procedures in addition to help with the cost of their medications. We see that many people have the assistance on standalone premiums, where the bulk of the people who have low income subsidy, that extra help, are actually in a standalone PDP program. And generally that means that a low income person has an opportunity to change their coverage from getting help with just their drugs to a comprehensive program that incorporates in assistance for their medical expenses as well, and gives them an opportunity to do so once a quarter. So this is that SEP that we've been speaking of. We see also that there's a good percentage of people who are in an MAPD program that have this as well. And so those individuals also have an SEP that at this time of year or throughout the rest of the year, if we discover that perhaps the providers that they have or the coverages with the medications based on formulary lists or tiers may be better served with another program, that gives us an opportunity to help people throughout the year. The MSPs that we spoke of are those programs that are Medicaid administered programs by each of the states, and they cover Medicare premiums and cost sharing on the medical portion of it, in addition to the help with the prescription programs. So these are assistance programs you might have heard as a qualified Medicare beneficiary, a specified low-income beneficiary, or a qualified individual who get some help, at least with the cost of their Part B premiums, and that can make a substantial difference for these individuals as well. What we see when we deal with dual special needs programs, the vast majority of those programs look for the individual that is a full dual beneficiary in order for them to maximize the benefits that they get out of a dual SNP program. And that's the process that United uses in their dual special needs programs. These folks have to meet certain income and assets tests. They have to have Medicare A in order to qualify for the DSNP. They have to have A and B, and these are programs that are generally processed through the local Medicaid agency, and in many circumstances, those are housed in the same location as Social Security offices. The eligibility is determined year over year, and these are the income and assets tests for 2019. They were released much earlier this year than normal, so this is a great slide to have as part of your presentation package, and it gives you then an idea of speaking to everyone that you deal with as to whether or not they're getting all the assistance that they have available to them. Each of these categories, even though they have different assistance levels as part of that particular category, we see that in each of these categories, there's a good portion of folks that qualify for this assistance that don't have it in place. And so that's an important point for us to know, because as we get our prospects and clients, help them get this additional assistance, it also creates that additional selling opportunity because it comes with that quarterly SEP. Another view of those 2019 MSP and LIS income and assets test. It's a great way for us to visit with people and ask them if they're a single individual in a household, is your income, your gross income, below about $1,600 a month? And if the person responds back with, well, my Social Security check is only $1,100, we have to keep in mind that that's a net amount, not a gross amount. So we factor back in the Part B premium, and we realize that they may qualify for some additional assistance, and then begin that process of helping them obtain those coverages. How we can find what plans are available in different areas? Well, Medicare.gov helps us do that. We can go in and find the health and drug plans. We find the results by going into this select special needs plans portion of it, and it'll tell us what plans are available in different zip codes. When we look at this market overall, the bulk of the membership in a dual special needs program are dominated by the big players. The big gorilla, well, that's the program that we speak of today, and that's United Healthcare. They have a ton of membership in this area, but it's also important to note that even though 2 million people approximately getting this type of program is a substantial number of people, it's still a small percentage of the people that are actually eligible for this type of program. So when we speak to the dual special needs program offered by United Healthcare, and pardon me, I see that some folks are having some challenges with the audio portion of today's program. Hopefully that corrected it, and we'll go on. The source of truth for today's presentation comes from Mr. Steve Plojek. He's a regional sales director for the Central Region with United Healthcare Community and State. Steve was called off at the last moment, so I'm going to sub for him as we go through the presentation on a state-by-state basis for Oklahoma, Texas, and Wisconsin. Keep in mind that the information we present today is available for the other states in which United Healthcare offers these types of programs, and that can be made available to you as well upon your request. We have scheduled additional seminars as well for other parts of the country, so watch for those if you're active in more than one market. United Healthcare and their dual special needs program has a long history in dealing with this population. And a couple of lifetimes ago, I was actually the regional director for the Evercare programs with Pacific Care, a company that they purchased that specializes in the special needs programs. The assimilation of that carrier into Pacific Care, and then Pacific Care being assimilated into United Healthcare, gives you a long history and experience in this particular market. United Healthcare was, in the guise of the previous carriers, one of the first programs to offer dual special needs programs in specifically the state of Texas, with a long experience in the Houston market. United is very adept at offering different clinical programs that help maximize the value of these programs, because when you deal with the Medicare, Medicaid population, a lot of times it goes beyond just the dollars that are covered for the medical expenses only. What they do is look to coordinate the assistance between both Medicare and Medicaid and create a better health result for the membership because of the ability to do that by accessing both realms of care. It also has other resources available for the population that helps this membership. And what I mean by that is family members or other caregivers who are part of the decision process or part of the support system that a member has in order for them to access the care that is available to them. So we'll see some very nice ancillary benefits that deal with solutions for caregivers and other ways that we can access information about the benefits that are available in the different markets. There are also different renewal rewards that are kind of SPIF programs based on healthy living opportunities that the membership has as well. For us as agents, well, United has invested a ton of money into feet on the street, in addition to the benefits that go to the membership and the support programs that come in for us as agents in order to properly service this membership. It is available through the Jarvis website. There are a ton of programs that are available there that enable us to access the status of an application. It also gives us different marketing tools that are available there, different marketing pieces so we can stay compliant and get the support that we need from this huge carrier. There's also electronic enrollment tools that are available for these programs through their lean program. And that toolkit, I can't stress enough how valuable the material is within that website that gives us the opportunity to use pre-approved pieces that enable us to put in our contact information and have that material available. The community and state programs also have different marketing material available to us without cost in many circumstances that enable us to be successful in marketing in the community through working with the pre-approved pieces and that feet on the street support that I mentioned earlier. Having a good relationship with a United Healthcare agent manager in your market can make a huge difference as to how successful you are in marketing these programs. When we look at United Healthcare's dual special needs programs year over year across the country, we have seen a ton of expansion over the last few years, and 2019 was no exception. These programs are available through United Healthcare in 30 different states, nearly 1,150 counties in those states, and available through an estimated dual eligible population of over 5.5 million people. When you look at that 5.5 million people, all of the beneficiaries that are in dual special needs programs, less than 1.5 million people, I should say. Of that, about a third of the population is with United Healthcare, but we see a smaller penetration into this segment of the market than we do in the regular Medicare Advantage world. So there's a ton of opportunity out there, and it is a grassroots-driven type of business. When we look at United Healthcare 2019 over 2018, they've added a couple additional states to that footprint, over 240 additional counties, and over 500,000 additional eligibles in that area as well. So it's a good, solid footprint, and obviously to the folks that we're talking to today in Texas, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin, obviously we're reaching out to you specifically because these are key states in United Healthcare's dual special needs program portfolio. The benefits, well, when you look at benefits year over year, product over product versus Medicare and Medicaid traditional administration, you'll see that sometimes the difference outside of that care management component is the fact that there are extras that come as part of the program. It may include over-the-counter debit cards that enable the member to go to certain stores and pick up certain supplies and have that covered through that benefit. It may include transportation benefits, additional vision benefits, vision and hearing benefits, fitness programs in many circumstances, an over-the-counter benefit through catalogs in addition to the retail settings. What we're seeing this year, particularly because of some of the legislation that gave carriers an opportunity to be a little more creative in the benefits that are available to the population, we see more programs available with acupuncture, chiropractic benefits, healthy meals programs, additional podiatry, foot care benefits, additional dental benefits, and the infamous, hey, I've fallen and I can't get up type of benefit, the old personal emergency response system. I can say that, but from what I understand, the United Healthcare personnel was not supposed to refer to that as a help, I've fallen and can't get up benefit. We all remember those commercials. There are also, however, some really cool core services that are offered through these programs that make a difference in the quality of life of the membership. And they include visits to the membership by medical personnel to help do an assessment of that person's health circumstances or environmental risks. How are they living? What is the home like? Are there modifications that could be helpful for the person to live a more independent or healthy lifestyle? That care management model then takes all this data and helps do an assessment of making certain that everything that can be done to keep the individual as healthy as possible is done as well. It's really helpful in the fact that all special needs programs, be they dual special needs programs or chronic or institutional, have the medication benefit integrated into a singular program. You won't find a SNP plan that doesn't have an embedded prescription benefit. Additionally, these programs through United Healthcare offer navigators, which help an individual get additional assistance even outside of the realm of those benefits offered by the program itself. That might include assistance for rent, energy programs where it helps pay a light bill, different programs of that where they can get additional assistance through other programs made available through the state or the federal government that individual may not be aware of as well. And one of the ways that they go through and make certain that they are maximizing the benefits that are available on these programs is through the health assessment that all dual special needs programs have as they join a program and are counseled on an annual basis, where they can help discover the different needs that an individual has based on what their body is doing year over year, day over day. And that whole awareness of what's going on can enable the program to be more proactive in the care that is delivered as opposed to treating certain symptoms on an individual basis. When we look at some of the specifics for the 3 states that we're addressing today, let's start with the state of Oklahoma. What we see here is additional states that were brought about in 2019. And you'll see that the footprint expanded beyond the Oklahoma City metro area into the northeastern part of the state and a couple of additional counties around OKC. It is an opportunity that is available now in 12 additional counties with more than 22,000 additional eligibles. United increased their over-the-counter catalog benefit to $100 per quarter. And it's not a use it, don't lose it type of thing. It actually accrues quarter over quarter, not year over year. It also increased their hearing benefit to $2,000 for hearing aids every 2 years and improved the vision benefit of a $200 credit toward the lenses and frames and contacts each year. So an increase in the benefits, an increase in the opportunity in Oklahoma as well. When we look and see at these programs year over year, it's important to note that we need blue and green. We want to stay away from red. Red is an indication that the benefit has degraded. And what you'll see in the states, particularly that we address today, the benefits are all held fast or improved. And so what we see in Oklahoma is an increase in that dental benefit, the hearing benefit, the over-the-counter credits, and the vision benefit, an increase year over year, which is really commendable when you consider the fact that medical trend itself is growing by double digits. So the expenses that programs like this they have to address, means that they have to be creative in how they can drive up benefits year over year as well. Some of the things that I think are really helpful for us as agents when we deal with this population, and not only the member or beneficiary itself, but also those folks that are involved in the decision, family members or other caregivers, some of the things that come into mind right away is the fact that in Oklahoma, this is an open access system. So a referral is not necessary to go to a specialist that's part of the network. They have a nurse line available that can help answer questions for the individual that's like, oh, I don't think I'm sick enough to go to the doc. Let's call a nurse line and see what's happening. It has that personal emergency response system, so you get peace of mind for the family as well, knowing that, okay, if mom or dad is living alone and something happens, they still have a way of notifying folks that they need help. And it also helps them in the transportation area, because sometimes a person can get off of work to take a person to the doctor, can't stay through the entire appointment, and they have a way of making certain that transportation is there to take them home or to the doctor, vice versa, and take care of their mom or their dad. So some key benefits there that are across the board that are rather advantageous, not only for the membership, but those involved in the decision-making process as well. When we look at Texas, well, Texas is one big old state. And we see a footprint here that has grown year over year as well. Pardon me, I have a cough there. What you see here are plans that are available in a large number of counties in the state, but keep in mind that United Healthcare has available a different dual special needs program that is available in every county in the state of Texas. Those were formerly labeled CIP, Care Improvement Plus plans. They are now this year labeled with United Healthcare as well. It's a huge state, a huge opportunity, and a huge number of plans across the state as well. You'll see that United Healthcare enjoys the #1 market share with over 80,000 dual SNP members in the state. They added 24 counties with over 50,000 more dual eligibles in the state in 2019. The provider network is very strong and has very strong competitive benefits as well. So much as we saw in Oklahoma, we saw an improvement in certain benefits and the others standing strong year over year. An improvement in the hearing and meal program benefits, a new benefit. The over-the-counter debit card has improved as well, and now includes a walk-in benefit to Walgreens for accessing those benefits right in their home area, and an increase in the transportation benefit as well. So some strong benefits across the board, improving year over year, particularly in that's the El Paso market. When we deal with the area around, this goes from Austin all the way down to around Houston, down into the Galveston area, we see the benefits holding strong year over year there as well. And in the Austin market, holding strong year over year in that area as well. We go into the Corpus Christi area, that strong benefit package remains constant 2018 to 2019, and in El Paso with the second program that we spoke of there for you as well. When we deal with Cameron, Hidalgo, and Willacy counties down in the valley, where the benefits have held strong year over year, and in the Metroplex up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, the key core counties of the metropolitan area, where the benefits are strong year over year. of improvement in dental vision benefits and the transportation benefit. And then the second dual program into the Valley or far South Texas and in Corpus Christi, improvements in certain portions of the program. One of the things that we really need to make certain that you understand as well is if you work these particular areas, that you get some of the information or at least a additional assistance with the feet on the street in that particular market, because we can go through these benefits and see that they've held strong year over year or improved, but we also need to make certain that we're aware of the network that is available across the board, and not just the doctors and the hospitals, but also the support benefits dealing with durable medical equipment and home health care, because that can make a huge difference in not only your sales and persistency, but in the value of the benefits perceived by the population that you're addressing. We go into some of the other counties outside of the on this program as well. Oops. And then once again down into the Valley, the second plan where those benefits have improved. So if you are an agent that works the Texas market and are interested in the dual program or might be active with dual programs with another carrier, it's important that as you contract that you establish a relationship with that agent manager responsible for your market and for you as an agent, because you are assigned an agent manager with you. Contracted through our organization, we want to help to facilitate that benefit of having that feet on the street knowledge and accessing that to become involved in activities that are generated by United Healthcare as well. When we look at Wisconsin, we see that in 2019 there are 5 additional counties available in 2019, and they've added the over-the-counter benefit with Walgreens with a credit amount of $200 per quarter, a strong benefit, a virtual doctor visit available 24/7. They've added the meal program and dentures into the dental program, a nice piece that many in the population are looking for, assistance with the dentures. Took me a while to say that, I apologize. We saw too here that benefits year over year have improved in many key areas, that dental area, hearing, the meal program introduction, the nurse line now being available 24/7, the over-the-counter debit card, accessible through the catalog or through Walgreens, additional benefits increases in the transportation benefit, the virtual doctor visit, where they can chat with a doc versus via a computer, tablet, or smartphone, and stronger benefits in the area of vision care as well. Overall, one of the things that we see, we talked about this a little bit earlier, where we can determine all of the different dual special needs plans that are available in a particular market. One of the things that we ask ourselves is, why would we want to work with United Healthcare? Well, we spoke of the experience that they have, but one of the things that we see that is very much a component of a differentiator between United Healthcare and some of the other programs available are the way that the agent is supported through the process. They get paid timely and accurately. You have a focus on this market that you may not see with other carriers. You have a ton of resources that are available. And as we go through and we visit the toolkit in another webinar, it's important for us to realize just all that is available to us through United Healthcare to help sell this program. And of course, they offer strong support and education in the markets to help you see the differentiators in Corpus Christi, in Austin, in Green Bay, in the areas where the programs are offered, and why United Healthcare. Sometimes it's easy for us to say, oh yeah, sure, it's United. They are always going to talk that way, much as the other carriers do. We're the biggest, we're the best. Well, the numbers are here to back them up when it talks about the penetration into the market, but it's also important to note that they put their money where their mouth is when it comes to feet on the street and support available electronically to help us sell. That marketing support includes material that is customizable with our information. Years ago, when I used to do a lot of individual production, a lot of the material didn't give us an option to put in our names and our numbers. And we were advertising for all our fellow agents as well. This is a nice way for us to make certain that our efforts are rewarded by the people actually calling us. And these materials are available at no cost or a small cost for many of the different pieces that are available to you. When we look at the different sales support tools that are essential for the success of these programs, when knowing what and who the providers are, those directories are found online through the Community UHC Community Plan website or through Jarvis. You'll also have strong support through the Producer Help Desk, where you can access additional information about the networks, but also about the level of assistance that your prospect qualifies for. And have they exercised that special election period already this quarter? It's nice to have that material available on an ongoing basis as we go about doing our business of helping enroll people in programs that can positively affect their quality of life day over day. Some of the things that United also does that is an enhancement over not all that long ago are the different support programs that enable you to enroll with confidence, where United then will step in and help drive the persistency of this membership. Remember, if a person can enroll each and every quarter, they can disenroll each and every quarter too, should they choose to do so. United has a support system in place where corporate steps in and helps keep that person on the plan for you, so you can then look to grow your book of business and not fight just to keep it the same. So neat materials that come out and help the member become engaged in the benefits that they have, utilize them, see the value of what is available to them, and it's done with your prospects and clients, your clients actually, and it helps drive that membership to stay with you and the program. I mentioned that they have key personnel across the country that help you with this, and these are just the folks that deal with the community and state program. The agent managers that I keep referencing handle the full portfolio of products that United Healthcare has in the Medicare Advantage and prescription drug world, and so they're very valuable assets for you in order to maximize your marketing potential and your sales potential as well. It's a great program, great opportunities, but why would you want to do it with Premier? Well, we do offer some additional help for you as well, including making certain that you are covered in marketing these programs. Contracts with Medicare Advantage and prescription drug programs do require errors and omissions coverage, and many times an independent agent will have those contracts with multiple hierarchies. You can have a contract with us and other of our brethren out in the insurance community, and some of them may offer blanket E&O that covers you for the programs that are available through them. It's important to note you need the coverage across the board. This is a very strong E&O coverage at a discounted rate that covers you wherever the contract lies, so you can operate as a true independent insurance agent. We also offer assistance on continuing education to help keep your license in place. Simplified ways of contracting electronically. We spoke of the portfolio that's available to you as an insurance agent. Many folks will work with all sorts of people across the range of income in the Medicare world, and that means that Medicare Supplement programs may be a very viable option for many of those people, or there may be ancillary programs such as dental or cancer or stroke programs or dental programs, where creating an agent profile on InsuranceBay allows you to contract electronically with multiple companies very easily. We also offer a unique program to help you protect your income through an individual non-cancelable disability income insurance program for agents contracted through our organization, discounted rate with limited medical underwriting as well. A great way for you to protect your income. We do have a ton of different training programs and resources available to you. Many of them are already recorded that you can access 24/7 through YouTube. You can go to our website at premiersmi.com, and many of them are linked right there as well. We also offer electronic support to help you quote and enroll in the various programs that are available to you, including the unique Medicare Center program that allows you to capture that necessary paperwork up front, the scope of appointment, in order for you to compliantly speak to individuals on programs such as Medicare Advantage and prescription drug programs. It's also a great way for you to utilize the system to market year over year electronically. We have a number of trainings that speak to how this program works and the advantages of using it in that fashion. We also have a way for you to put your social media marketing on autopilot through Coverage Made Easy. Additional information is available in that program as well. And then additional lead sources available to you. Depending upon the type of program that you're marketing, we want to make certain that we do things on a compliant basis, but also be effective in it. One of the things that you'll see in the dual special needs world is an emphasis on community-based marketing programs. You do see a pretty strong return on direct mail still in this segment, but many of the folks that you visit with in the dual community, you have to go to where they live, where they worship, or where they seek care. And these programs are set up to help you access that portion of the community and the prospects that come with that segment of your marketing activity. We also have ways of helping you work with carriers and the prospects that they have available. Also internet lead programs that are being piloted right now too, and direct mail support for agents who produce as well. Some of the neat things that also come as part of a package with Premier is the fact that we offer a full range of incentives, not only through the carriers that offer them, but also our own producers convention that this year is going to Jamaica. They're about to announce where the 2020 trip is, and that information will be sent to you shortly. So reviewing some of those lead programs, you have an opportunity to have a contact list. Obviously, you can't cold call for Medicare Advantage or prescription drug programs, but if you're interested in the higher end of the income in the Medicare world, cold calling for Med Sups, all save one, is still a very viable way of reaching into the community. That assistance for those direct mailers, 10 apps, you pay a deeply discounted price for a 1,000-piece mailer. 5 apps, still a substantial discount. So what you have here is a grand opportunity to help a segment of the population that really needs our help, the dual community, and it's an area where we have a strong expertise and we want to help you approach that business. If it is something that you would consider as part of your overall marketing strategy, part of the follow-up to today's presentation will be a link to another presentation that speaks to Steve's presentation on working in the community and the centers of influence that are available right in your area. But as you make the decision to work with this, it's then a question of how we go about implementing it, making certain that your contracts and certifications are in place, and a marketing plan is there to help you become successful in this particular arena. You can reach any of the marketers at Premier Marketing through the 1-800-365-8208 number or through our website at premiersmi.com. We look forward to the opportunity of visiting with you individually and creating a marketing plan that can make this a part of your agency's success. That said, I thank you for the investment of your time today. Watch for the follow-up that will come out in the very near future, and we wish you good selling. Thanks so very much.